Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Perfection here, and today I got a gameplay on Crossfire on Modern Warfare Remastered. I ended up going 25-0 to start off this match, which in any other COD, or not any other COD, but most CODs would be a nuke. Not in this game though, unfortunately. I wish every Call of Duty game had the nuke option, and not this bullshit 25 gun kills only. It should include kill streaks, because going 25-0 with kill streaks is still very hard, and you want nukes. Nuke's a fun aspect of the game, and you want that to be at least obtainable sometimes. These 25 gun kills it's too hard, especially in the new COD like Modern Warfare when the time to kill is so fast. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay and enjoy that in the background while I talk about the topic at hand, which today is going to be what will be next year's Call of Duty in 2020. So there's a lot going on next year in 2020, obviously with the new release of the next gen consoles, which will have an impact on the new game. They're obviously going to release them on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well, but it's obviously a transition period between the two, and it can cause some. Looking back at last time we switched consoles, Ghosts had some troubles at launch, and I think that slowed it down a lot when it comes to people buying it. So we'll see what happens this next time with that. But we'll talk about what's going on. Usually, it was supposed to be Sledgehammer making the game. Apparently, Raven Software was supposed to be helping them out, but it wasn't working out there. So Activision stepped in and gave Treyarch control. Um, they also assigned Sledgehammer and Raven to help out with that game because it's such a quick turnaround from Treyarch's last game at Black Ops 4. Um, so that explains why Black Ops 4 they basically released it and they didn't do much updating throughout the year because they would just had to move on to the next game, which is what it used to be back in the day. But they switched that up to a 3-year life cycle, a 3-year development cycle now to give them more time. So that's what worries me about this next game is that with only 1 year in between, does that enough time to release a full good Call of Duty game? They can't do it with 3 years. What makes you think they would do it with one? So it's worrisome for us as fans. We'll just have to see what happens. Um, so there's been a lot of rumors about what that next game's going to be. Obviously, this year they decided to reboot the Modern Warfare franchise using the same name and everything. And there's been rumors that they're going to do the same with Black Ops franchise. So they're just going to call it Call of Duty Black Ops and just reboot the whole franchise. Which obviously you want some new IPs, but if they're going to decide to do this, I'm okay with it as long as they do a good job. Obviously, they didn't do a good job with Modern Warfare, but I trust Treyarch a lot more than the new Infinity War team. So if I have faith in anybody, it would be them. So at least you're saying it's just going to be called Call of Duty Black Ops. It's going to return to the Cold War era, which is a good era, like a good era for me. Obviously, the guns are really cool. Black Ops 1 is one of my favorite Call of Duties. So if they can return to that era of game, I'm all for it for sure. Um, just gonna talk about obviously looking back at Treyarch and their past releases, it's pretty solid all the way through, except for Black Ops 4, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I feel like it was a lot of rehashed, reworked stuff that really didn't show a lot of creativity, a lot of copying of other games, like Rainbow Six Siege, um, previous Black Ops games, a lot of rehashed maps, guns, and stuff like that. So I'm a little worried about that, but I'm hoping they can rebound and come back with go return to their true selves, which is what they released with all the Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and before that World at War. So I'm hoping they can regain that form and release a really good COD next year. So yeah, I talked a little bit about the new consoles coming out. That's going to have an impact on the game for sure. Um, Last time with Ghost actually released 3 weeks early because usually they release now the last few years end of October, early November, and usually the consoles release closer to Christmas, like end of November, maybe early December. So that's kind of worrisome. Like, do you have to wait if you're gonna buy? You're not gonna buy the same game twice on each console. So if you're gonna buy the new consoles, why you might as well just wait and hold off until you get that new console and then buy the new Call of Duty for that console. So that's a little bit concerning for that, but it's fine. You can wait and you can just watch people play it on the old gen and see if you like it, I guess. And if you don't have to buy it for the new gen, or if you can just buy it for the last time. Actually, what they did, pretty sure if I remember correctly, is if you bought it for the Xbox 360, you could trade that game in once the Xbox One came out and get the Xbox One version for free. I think that's what it was. I didn't do that, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure like my friends did that, and that if they do that again, that'd be great. Then you can actually buy it early for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and then trade it back in. But I guess you would have to buy a physical copy, and a lot of people just buy digital these days. Um, so looking at next year, obviously it's a quick turnaround from Black Ops 4. They're going to have to dish out this game quick. They're not going to have a lot of time to test it and beta test and work out the kinks. Looking at Black Ops 4, it was pretty buggy at the start. A lot of stuff didn't really work the way it should, and you could tell it was rushed. Wasn't really play tested that well. I don't know how this stuff slips through play testing. I don't know who these play testers are, because there was rumors that they were like overworking the play testers. They were working 12-hour days overnight, and they said they were sweating because the place was so warm they didn't even bother turning the AC on down in Southern California, which is a warm place. So which is kind of funny actually, but maybe that explains why the game wasn't tested well. So yeah, looking at that, it's I'd rather have Treyarch come back than Sledgehammer. Obviously, Sledgehammer, although they did pick it up at the end with World War II, I still don't trust them at all. You have to build that trust, and for them, I don't trust them really to build to have another game. Obviously, I prefer them over the Infinity War team, which is disappointing because I thought like going into this year, Modern Warfare sounded like everything was right. You know, free maps, going back to classic Call of Duty. They were talking about getting rid of the 3-lane maps and putting more like unique maps that can. I know people complain about elevation, how all these windows and stuff, but I don't really mind that as long as it's not overly done. You know, there's a middle balance. Like look at this game I'm playing right now, Modern Warfare. There's a lot of buildings and a lot of windows, but it's balanced. It's there's not that many, and there's still flow to the game, and that's what I want. I don't just want like look at World War II. It was just plain flat maps with 3 lanes, and that's not what you want in any Call of Duty. So I'm glad that they tried to make the next step, but it just didn't really work out. So a balance would be better. Maybe a few 3 lanes, a few chaotic maps in there, and just spread it out so everyone can get a little bit of what they want. Um, so the gameplay in the background here is coming down to the wire. We blew these guys out here. I went off this game, just completely dominated these guys. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, you know. So I wanted to thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for stopping by and supporting the channel. It means a lot. I know I'm starting off here and I haven't really seen as much traction as I would like on the channel. And by not that much, I mean pretty much none at all. I actually ended up going 39-4 here, which is incredible. Great game for me at 9.75 ratio. And I hope that's more to come from me. I hope you can expect from me good gameplay and solid commentary. So with that, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.